Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having us here today. It's a pleasure to being in Espoo. And thank you to Susanna for mentioning your trip to Copenhagen. We had a lovely day too. So this is us. I'm Peter. This is Martin. And this is what it's all about. This is our mission. This is why we go to work every day. Bringing people together in positive and supportive environments. Okay, there's some big pictures. Senior gamers with a passion for sports. The 1st of November 2014, I started as a temp in Grønland Multicenter, a giant sports center in Copenhagen. From the moment I walked in the head entrance for the job interview, I was totally impressed. This center got it all, 40 different sport activities. In 2017, I got a big opportunity to combine my interest with gaming with my dream workplace, being the project lead on the very first esports center in Copenhagen. A year after that, I got promoted to head of esports. What a ride it has been. In 2022, I met this cool guy, Martin.
Yeah, I'm Martin, and I'm Peter's coworker. Yeah, not coworker. We're more colleagues. Yeah, when I met Peter, I was working in the social administration just after finishing my master's in human physiology. Yeah. And I've always been interested in engaging with young people and people in general, trying to give them, sense of meaning with life. That was what I was working with in the social administration with the vulnerable citizens under 18 having the need for some support in their life. And I don't know why, but many of them were like brought to me and said, "Hey Martin, this kid likes to game. Can you do something?" And what I did was search out possibilities within the City of Copenhagen for the possibility of joining a physical meeting place where you could do gaming and also do some physical activity. And that's where I met Peter and been working together for 2 years across administrations. But after 2 years, we couldn't be separated no more, so we had to join forces, and that's where we are now.
Yeah. So this is the City of Copenhagen. The Copenhagen municipality is divided into 7 administrations that have different core services. Many great things are going on in other administrations too with gaming, but today we're going to focus on the gaming and the culture and leisure perspective. So we probably won't make it through all our slides today, so let's do our key takeaways now. Facilities management is different from other activities. In our administration, we have great experience with creating and maintaining badminton courts, football courts, gymnastic facilities, etc. It's a whole other thing creating and maintaining gaming facilities. You need to do your research right. Creating the right requirement specification is key. Think of all, electric power and internet. Be sure to have great service level agreements. We also recommend a reboot to restore software on the gaming computers. Third, a plan for changing and buying new equipment is needed. In Copenhagen, we pass functional equipment on to other institutions within the city.
Yeah. And the next takeaway is about how me and Peter use gaming and esport as a unique method to engage people, especially young people, into physical activity. And the way we are able to do that is being a part of this greater sporting facility where esport is a huge part of it. Just a small part, we'd like to call it a huge part, but a small part of all the other activities. Yeah. So it's very accessible for the gamers to go do physical activity, which is really important for well-being and for meaningful habits.
Yeah. Internal cross-sector partnerships, be united. Okay, please start your project by breaking down the silos. If I were to start a project like ours from scratch, I will do an even better job reaching out and making long-term partnerships within the municipality, between the administrations. There's so much synergy and potential to be unfolded. Mega event activation potentials. The City of Copenhagen loves mega events. Christian, you mentioned that in your presentation. Gaming can be a part of that and create great legacy. Later, I will show you some pictures from the European Soccer 2021 activation program. And the last one, Martin.
Yeah, and then the final takeaway is about finding the right role models. And that's not just in the esports organization and on the esport teams, which we just heard. It's also everyone working with gaming have to understand, the commercial aspect of the gaming world and of the digital world, to be able to pass that knowledge on to the young generation, so that they understand that they're consumers in a huge consumer built business world.
So, in our meetings with the citizens in Copenhagen, we have to accept that it's impossible to make clear definitions what is gaming and what is esport. We must have an open mind and be curious about what organized gaming is for them. So this is our very broad definition, playing virtual and digital games, including the simulating sports games, on all types of platforms, computer, consoles, mobile phones, tablets, and the next generation. And that's a bit hard working in a public center because it's evolving every day.
Yeah.
So this is August 2017. The Copenhagen City Council decided to make an investment in esports. This is pictures from the opening of the esports center. In the middle, you can see a picture of a former culture and leisure mayor playing virtual football with the local football club. Today, the ambition with the esports setup in the sports center was to create a value synergy between esports gaming and the classic sports, and hopefully make a facility that can reach out, engage, and involve new users and create a path into the organized sports life. Today, the center is used by local clubs, volunteer clubs, schools, social initiatives, self-organized users, and others. So the design choices. For 8 months, I visited many gaming setups in Denmark and participated in most of the gaming conferences to get the inspiration. One thing was very clear. The esports center needed to be a natural part of the sports center. So no neon lights, no dark rooms, clear visibility, and the right economic chairs and tables. The zone I'm most proud of is this simple workplace. Martin, how do you think it turned out?
Well, I think it turned out really great. And what it's all about is that my background, as I said, when I had like an isolated, lonely young person that I started to build a relationship with, I tried to take them down to Grøndal Multicenter, where I could show them this room. And this room was really interesting to them because there were computers and there were consoles, which is a part of their life that is the only part of their life maybe where they had some experiencing of success. But taking them into a room like that is also really hard, because the computer and the technic devices is really, really interesting. So it's important to have like this physical meeting area where you can sit across each other, share stories about daily life, maybe introduce them to the structure that you're going through for the next couple of hours, or just showing what you have just built in your gaming time.
So Martin and I often go around saying we got the best gaming facility in the world, with the synergy all over the squash courts, the football courts, the fitness center. But yesterday we got a trip to the city of Espoo, a new gaming center, and we got a close contender now, because wow, that's a great facility they have made there.
Yeah.
Some of the cross-sector partnerships. We have a lot of cross-sector partnerships within the municipality, and many interesting projects to come. We want to highlight some of them today. Since 2019, there has been a partnership with the social administration, taking the citizen in risk of criminality to Grøndal Multicenter, doing different activities with gaming and traditional sports. In the esports center, there's a social worker connected who support the citizens in job search and in applying for education. Yeah, that's a very special constellation.
Yeah. Some of the other partnerships consist of like weekly activities for some of the special needs schools that Christian also mentioned, where you can do activities where you involve the users and the citizens. You have the physical activity as a big part of the like weekly program, and then you can add on different things like internships, which we also did. We also recently started an elder activation thread that's going to fight loneliness in the elder sector.
Senior gamers.
Yeah. So it's usually people who has just started retirement or has been it for some years, and we actually discovered that there are many gamers, above the age of 65, but they are really not used to the online community. So to show them that there's a possibility to be joined with younger people, but also people in their generation sharing that interest and love for computer games or console gaming, was really surprising, but also really generous to be a part of. And we're going to do more of that. We also have in Denmark and especially in the city of Copenhagen, many refugees from some of the conflicts and wars around the world, not only Ukraine, but many other places. And we also try to make some programs to engage them to come be a part of a sport facility, to show them what the society can give to them in Denmark and how they can become a part of it.
Using gaming as a universal language.
Yeah. Because as we heard earlier from Lad, gaming is like the same language, but across more than 100 barriers of national geographical distances. Yeah, and then I'm going to highlight something about these open school visits that we have, which is something that Peter and I are really proud to be a part of. It's a program where we in the municipality can invite local-based school free of charge to come visit us at Grøndal Multicenter. Here we take them through a day of like digital awareness education across gaming and digital services and social media. We sit down together. We go and do a physical activity to engage them, and then we have a third of the time amounted to doing some gaming. And here you see a picture of our Minecraft education template that we created ourselves, where we use the template to create an environment where all of the kids can be together and create something together. We can do that for hours, but we could also do that for continuous visits. Yeah, so like the weekly visits is building more and more inside this template, and you could also do it for one, and then we send it back to the school, and they can do it for like normal school days as well. And it's a really great way to engage the school children in a facility where you can introduce them to sports, but also have a talk with them about online universes and how they should act on social media. Yeah.
And the teachers love the guided tour around the center. It takes around 45 minutes showing all these different activities. And it's like, they say it's like going to the museum. There's so much culture involved also in this visit.
Yeah. And it's just a great way to engage them in because to them, gaming is just like, oh, I'm just always playing Fortnite. Okay. But are you playing on your phone? Yeah, sometimes I'm playing on my phone as well. Okay, what do you play on your phone? Then you can engage in a talk with them about, what behavior they should have and what things they should be aware of.
Oh yeah, Martin, this slide is so fun.
Yeah. Apart from that as well, in my experience with working with especially the exposed and vulnerable children, they see a lot of defeats in their life, particularly in their school life. In Denmark, and I think in many other places, the schoolyard has a football court or a basketball court. And if you're not the best footballer or basketballer, then you pretty easily get pushed out to the side, isolating yourself, maybe not gathering those social successes that's needed to build up a generation of young people as well. So we try to introduce them to playful activities that has that physical element, which is not scary. Maybe many of them haven't tried them before, so they are all starting from the same level. We think that's really important in the way that we have to encourage all of the youth to be physically active, and physically active is just not football. That's also a big part of the strategy we do around gaming, because inside the gaming center, maybe the most successful children is the ones that are pushed out of the football court at school. So they get to see the dynamic of their classmates being successful and maybe acknowledging that. And then you get to see whole new dynamics that's really important also for the teacher perspective to work with like well-being across the class. I'm gonna say something about the right role models, because we Christian dipped into this and how they try to educate the trainers in the the voluntary clubs that we have in Denmark. We engage in that as well, and we have like experience with what works. And the place that I worked in at the social administration, there was like this approach. There was this approach towards the children that's solution focused and really inclusive, and that's two of the most important skills to have. The pedagogical approach and skill set are necessary to create the best environment possible for the kids to thrive and to grow. But that can't stand alone. You also have to have a person who knows what gaming is. Like Christian said, gaming literacy is also key to understand the communication, the dialogue, and the universes in which these young people live their lives most of the time. So these two skills combined is really, really important to have inside this physical room where you are together. Both so you can get the support and acknowledgement from an adult, but also from the like grown-up gamer who knows everything about a nice headshot and everything about a good karate kick in Tekken or something like that. There also is something about knowledge about how the computer works, how to put on sound on the microphones and headsets. We see a lot of teachers out there maybe wanting to do something with gaming, but they're like afraid because I don't know how a computer works. And it's like many of you probably know, it's the most basic and simple settings that you can do on a computer. Is the microphone on? Yeah, that pretty much stops them from engaging in these kind of activities. And then some of the like lesser important but really important still is like how to be able to mediate and structure a day, especially if you work with vulnerable children. Many of you know that they need structure, they need like a tight schedule, knowing where to go, when to go there, when there's a break, when there's physical activity. And then a big part of it is also this passion for sport. You have to have that approach that when you're an adult, you have to go inside the playing area, playing with the kids. You can't just be, now you play, I stand over here. You have to participate in the physical activity. That way you also get like successes and the possibility of acknowledging the kids in their successes. And that's really, really important.
Yeah, here's some pictures from mega event activation. It was a partnership between the Copenhagen municipality, the Danish Football Association, and UEFA at the European 2021 Soccer Cup. We did all kind of activities around the city. This is some pictures from a e-football school. That was so fun to do. Here are some more pictures from the program. We went on an official tour around the city called Virtual Football Around the City, where we went to libraries, to
Other
sports facilities, the official fan zone, football clubs, etc. It was so fun to do.
Yeah, now we are almost at the end, and those of you who don't know, I held this some of this presentation as well back in 2023, and I like Googled and asked AI at that time how to say, like, we have this saying in Denmark that's called a positive community, positive fellowship. Can't really directly translate it, so I tried to translate it into Finnish, and at that time it said like positiivinen yhteisö. I don't know if that's correct, but now I tried it again before leaving here, and it was another phrase, and I was like, okay, then what's the correct one? So if anyone could tell me after we're done, then I would like to know. Yeah, but the fun aside, this is what Peter started out saying, that's what we want. We want that positive environment where people can grow, even if you've had defeats, or if not, you just want to be socially developed and growing socially within your life, and that's possible if you put in gaming because there's such a big interest.
Yeah, bringing people together in positive and supportive environments.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to the City of Espoo for inviting us, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you for the time.